Welcome into Lone Star Conference Media Day. It's our preview of the 2021-22 DBU basketball team. I'm Reagan Radcliffe along with Patriots head basketball coach Blake Flickner and senior guard Carson Hughes. This team's 17-5. Last year, you make it to the semifinals of the South Central Regional. It's 4 consecutive trips now, Coach, to the NCAA tournament. What does it say just about the state of this program and the heights that your team's been able to reach?
Well, it means that we've had good players. We've had guys that have been unselfish and really worked hard and a lot of talent. And so it's been fun to watch the program continue to develop and the success that we've had over the recent years.
You know, Carson, you've been a part of 3 consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament since you arrived here as a freshman. How have you seen this team just develop over the course of those 3 seasons, and where do you feel like you are as you head into this year?
Yeah, the team is looking really good this year. I think we have a lot of guys that are really bought in, and that's something that's kind of changed and gotten better over the years. We have more guys that are really bought in. I think this summer we had everybody but 2 people staying on campus working out in the weight room and getting in the gym, and that's something that I don't think we've had before, and so it's just really exciting going into this year.
Let's kind of dive into this year's squad. And probably the biggest shoes you have to replace, of course, Chandler Jacobs to graduation. He's the program's all-time leading scorer. How do you or can you replace that kind of production? What do you look to this year in order to fill his role?
Well, it'll have to be a collective effort. We won't have Chandler there to bail us out with some of the tough shots and things that he would make, but we've got a lot of other pieces that will have to step up, and it'll be a collective effort of being unselfish and sharing the ball and finding ways to exploit advantages that we have without him.
You know, as you talk about that and the offensive scheme of things, tell us a little bit more just about that, because this is a team that year in, year out seems to be one of the most prolific offenses in college basketball at the Division II level. How would you describe this style of offensive play?
Yeah, I think things that describe us would be unselfish. I want our guys to be really unselfish, and they are. That's the quality of people that they are. So we share the ball, but we also play with a lot of confidence. We have a lot of guys with a lot of skill to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot, and spread the floor, and utilize the spacing on the floor to be aggressive and confident within that flow of sharing the ball.
This is one of the most dynamic, I would say, backcourts probably in the conference, maybe in the country. A lot of depth. Got Carson Hughes, and then Carson alongside you, you've got guys like Ricky Lujan, who was the Lone Star Conference Freshman of the Year. Guy in Julian Miranda, who was a Freshman of the Year earlier in his career. Jalen White is there, a guy that you came in with. There's just a ton of depth. How difficult do you feel like it is for opponents to have to defend that backcourt?
Very difficult and very fun to play with. Ricky can score the ball so efficiently at all 3 levels, can go right or left, and is very quick. So defenses, I feel like it's tough to game plan against him. Jalen is so long and athletic. He creates matchup problems and can shoot the ball as well. So you try to put a little guy on him, you know, he can back somebody down, and then you try to put a big on him, he can blow by him. If you try to sit off him, he can shoot. And then Jules, he's not the biggest dude, but he's so smart. He knows exactly how to move defenses. Just get him where he wants them, and then somehow always finds a way to get the ball right on the money for somebody else. So it's really fun to play with, and almost kind of feel bad for defenses because it's a lot of power right there.
Well, as difficult as this group is to defend on the offensive side, I know Coach places a huge emphasis on the effort on the other side of the floor, defensively, taking charges. And how would you describe just the emphasis that he places on this team defensively and the pride that you take on that side of the floor?
Right. I think a big emphasis is just focusing on the ball and playing well as a team. Coach always says the ball is the only thing that can score. So it's just working collectively to make sure the ball doesn't get in the basket. To have a lot of help defenders in the right spot to stop the ball and be able to rotate on the backside to help out your other teammates that are helping. So it's all working together, and it's really fun to play with and fun to watch, in my opinion.
One thing that stands out about this team as well this year is the size and physicality of this group. You've got some big guys like William Heather, who's 6'10", Alex Holcomb, 6'9", I think about 260. A lot of size. How do you feel like that will factor in this season, and what can you tell us about those 2?
Yeah, I think we've got, as good as our backcourt is, I think our front court's really strong too, and we've got the ability to really punish people inside on the glass. I think we've got a lot of skill at that position, but also some guys that are very physical, and they'll be probably the biggest team we've ever had at DBU this year.
Carson, back to you just in terms of just the strengths of this team. We've talked about offense, defense, size of the team. What do you feel like the greatest strengths are for this team as an opponent trying to game plan against DBU? How do they go about doing that?
Well, I think we have a lot of depth and we have 16 guys and all really skilled at basketball. Last year, we didn't have the depth that we have this year, so if things weren't working out, we didn't really have a whole lot of bench to go to try to make things work. But this year we have 16 guys really skilled, and so that's something that it's going to be hard for other teams to game plan for, because we have 16 dudes that can play. And then also it's really competitive in practice, which is making us all really a lot better, and I think we'll be ready for the season because of that.
You play in one of the toughest conferences in college basketball, in the Lone Star Conference. What is that journey like, going through that gauntlet of a schedule, week in, week out? Almost has the feel of a tournament type game when you go through this type of schedule.
It is a gauntlet. It's a challenge. We love challenges, and we're thankful for the opportunity to play against some of the top teams in the nation, but it is a challenge. We feel like we've got a really good squad, but then you go across the board and you look at the other teams in the league, and I think Coach Glennie and I counted up 10 teams within our league that we thought could very easily win a game or two in the NCAA tournament. And so there's a ton of depth. There's some really good teams that are going to be left out when it comes time for the NCAA tournament. And so we're just hoping that we can rise to the challenge and be ready to be one of those teams that gets in.
It's a short non-conference schedule, but right off the bat you get a key in-game region contest against a team in Colorado Mesa that was #1 in the country at the end of the regular season. What do you think about just the non-conference schedule and how that prepares you for the Lone Star?
Yeah, we went out and scheduled some of the best teams in our region. We tried to schedule very competitively because we felt like we need that to get ready for the Lone Star Conference, and we felt like this team is ready for that. We've got a team that I think will step up to that challenge, but we're playing some of the best teams in the GAC, the best teams in the RMAC, and you mentioned Mesa, who we opened with, who was ranked #1 in the country. So we're going to challenge ourselves and test ourselves and see where we're at and what we need to do to get better against some of those better teams.
That should be an exciting season. Patriots looking to make their 5th consecutive NCAA tournament. All starts right here November 12th against Colorado Mesa. This has been our preview of DBU basketball's upcoming season. For Blake Flickner, Carson Hughes, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe.